Today's video is brought to you by Spikes Academy, which is launching a new course, The Art of Sideboarding with Seth Manfield, and the first 200 students can get 15% off with the code SIDEBOARDING. You can join the academy at spikesacademy.com. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech. So as you know, Tuesday means it's Type 2 or Standard Tuesday, and we have a pretty interesting one to look at today. This is a pirate deck, I guess. I was really confused on what to call this deck. I went with Azorius Pirates because it is playing pirate synergies, but it's kind of like a blue-white flash deck, blue-white tempo, I don't even know, but regardless, it's got a lot of pirates, and it's pretty unique, and it comes to us from Mayata Kanturu, who took it to a undefeated finish in a small Japanese tournament, so congrats to Mayata on a really sweet deck. A quick reminder before we break down Azorius Pirates for Standard. If you enjoy this deck and you want to see it made to videos, take a minute, click the like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment, anything you can do to support your deck, because whichever deck is most popular gets a shot at being made into videos next week. So Azorius Pirates starts off with our pirates, and some of them are kind of well known, others are a little janky, and the main idea of this deck is, apart from our pirate synergies, to have kind of this tempo plan based around evasive creatures. So we start off with Siren Stormtamer, an evasive creature is a 1/1 flyer for one that can also sacrifice itself to save one of our other creatures, even counter something targeting us. Departed Deckhand, one of the more unique spells in the deck, a 2/2 unblockable for 2 that has a downside where whenever it's targeted by a spell, it's sacrificed. The thing is, most things that could potentially target Departed Deckhand are going to kill it anyway. Like, if you're going to shock it, or lightning strike it, or you name it, Vraska's Contempt it, it's already going to die, so it's not as much of a drawback as you might think. And then it can actually make our other creatures sort of unblockable. They can't be blocked by spirits, but really, in Standard, that's basically pay for make something unblockable. And then we have Workhite Marauder, 2/1 flyer that also can get through some damage by turning a defending creature into a 0/1 with no abilities when it attacks. So if our opponent has blockers for our flyers, Workhite Marauder helps us get through the damage. So this is kind of Pirates Part 1. Then we have our first pirate payoff, which is Dreamcaller Siren, which works really well with every aspect of the deck. It's flying, it has flash, it works with the tempo plan by tapping down a couple of creatures when it comes into play, if we have another pirate, which hopefully we will with all these pirates. So this is kind of the top end of our curve, and as you can see, we can kind of just curve out Stormtamers into Departed Deckhands, top things off with Dreamcaller Siren to tap down some blockers, or play defensively to fizzle a big attack. So this is kind of plan A of the deck. Then we have Angel of Grace, which isn't a pirate, but it is a nice flash creature. It works with the evasion plan, gives us a big body in the air by surprise, and can even gain us a little bit of life. The ability when it enters the battlefield, it really depends on the matchup. Occasionally we'll fizzle like a Banefire, untap, win the game, but most of the time it's just a big old flyer that can gain us some life from the graveyard. So those are our main threats. Then we have our card advantage, and we start off with Doving Grand Arbiter, which is perfect for this deck because the +1 is really good with a bunch of evasive creatures, because when we play Dovin, we probably already have 1 or 2 creatures that are essentially unblockable, or at least have flying, which means we're going to get loyalty really quickly, work towards that ultimate, get the super dig through time, get 3 cards. So that's kind of the main plan. Worst case, we can always just take down, make some more flyers to power up our Dovin to get in more attacks. Chart, of course, just do 1-up to draw some cards. Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, everyone's favorite. It's in the colors. It's one of the most powerful cards in Standard. While we're not a Teferi lock deck by any stretch, we're not trying to just jank you out with Teferi. Teferi is just a really good value card in this deck, topping our curve, getting us an extra card, working with our flash by untapping land so we can play something during our main phase and then play something else at instant speed with our flash creatures. So rather than being our primary plan for winning the game, Teferi is just a really solid support card in this deck. Otherwise, removal. Warrant Warden works really well their plan. It's a good removal spell in the early game, and then if we run out of action, we can always just make a Sarah Angel with it. Settle the Wreckage works really well with all of our instant speed stuff. Our opponent won't know if we're leaving up a random flash creature, or if we're just going to Wrath their board with Settle. Lookout's Dispersal is pirate payoff number 2. With 15 pirates in the deck, we should usually have one, and then we have like a super mana leak, which is actually a pretty powerful effect in Standard. Couple of absorbs is additional additional counter spells. Again, works well with the plan of this deck of leaving up our mana with flash creatures, with Settle the Wreckage, and then also counter spells if we need them. Mana base, 4 Memorial of Genius to draw some cards, 1 Field of Ruin, some Azorius dual lands, some basic lands. In the sideboard, Lyra Dawnbringer doesn't have flash, but it's a great flyer against mono red in specific, gaining huge chunks of life. For removal, 4 Deputy of Detentions, gets rid of anything, although a little fragile. Seal away, more Settle the Wreckage, and then we can steal some stuff with Intrinsic Melody, Mass Manipulation. Finally, for the control matchups, Negate, Chemistry Insight, Karn, Treasure Map, a counterspell, a bunch more card advantage to slog through decks with lots of removal and counters and discard. And that is Azorius Pirates for Standard. And that's been our instant deck tech for today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.